but I do think Gen.G can beat Gentlemate. So I'm going, or Gen.G, SSG can beat Gentlemate, so I'm going SSG.
Okay.
Space Station was so hot online, and they didn't look great yesterday, but I do think it's a brand new day of Rocket League. I like this demo style by Kofer. Over 5.5 demos per game is unheard of. No one plays Rocket League like that anymore. Like, not at that level, right? So I think the mates are going to have a hard time on defense because of that. I am going to pick Space Station.
Okay.
I think the series is going to be very messy. I think we already know Gentlemen is really the only team with real pressure at this land. Everybody else is already qualified for Leon, so that's a little unfortunate for them. And saying that, that's just going to be exacerbated by the fact that Kofer's going to get average about 5 demos in this series. So then he's just going to be in the backfield, making it mucky, making it tough for him. Gentlemen's going to feel that heat, and then SSG's going to take him in 5. Give me SSG.
SSG. Wait. Okay. So this is crazy.
It's happening.
Because I kind of want to. I love the energy on SSG. But for the sake of the boys, I'm not going to caster curse them here on the desk. I'm going to say the Gentlemates with world champion Seiko and brand new player Eugene with major champion Juicy are going to be able to take it to these 3-LAN rookies. That they're going to be rallying, they're going to be great, but they're not going to quite have it figured out by the beginning of day 2. Give me the Gentlemates on this one. How does Chance feel about it? How's the coin going for us here into the air? And it comes down Gentlemates. So we're going to be going back. Wait, I held the logo upside down. Bad luck for them though. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Levels to this.
Chat. We got Space Station fans waking up, but the French are also up and ready to go. Let's see if the Gentlemates can get it done, or do Space Station bounce back and show us that online mechanical skill we've come to know them for. Folks, let's get into it. NA versus EU. It's the Gentlemates versus Space Station Gaming to move forward in the Swiss.
Gentlemates continue this improbable run. They need top 2, but it's so far in the distance, and in their way, yet another North American roadblock. Game 1 brought to you by Progressive as we kick off the second match of a very long Friday in Raleigh.
Space Station boys, so exciting, Stacks, but I'm seeing Eugene rocking the "We Are Chalked" tag in-game here in Raleigh.
It didn't give you much yesterday, but, you know, go on, King.
I love it, I love it, I love it. We can, well, he needs about 3 million goals in this series if we're going to bridge the gap on FT, but this is going to be a really interesting one. T-Bates mentioned on the desk, it feels like a messy series. We know the demos are coming through from from Space Station rather, but Gentlemate's so solid. Can they avoid it? Can Eugene step up? It's going to be a great start. Juicy gets the first.
Juicy with his team leading 8th goal of the tournament. And it comes despite the physical play out of SSG, the first 30 seconds belonging exclusively to Gentlemates Alpine.
Interesting from Space Station. Obviously yesterday, the Ultimates loss came at a surprise. They had their measure online, Stacks, but after Ultimates beat KC, it's not a bad loss. They did go 5 against Foot, which is concerning. Coming up against Gentlemates, who you'd expect to be a tougher opponent, and right now it's a slow start because Eugene is firing on all cylinders.
It just continues now, and SSG, the physicality, sure, it's there. There's only 2 teams that have more demos than them. There's only 2 teams that have more demolitions than Kofer in this tournament. They both already played today in Gen.G and Carmine Corp. It doesn't matter. You hit the car all you want. You got to get the ball out of your net. And Gentlemates have scored twice here in this opening minute.
Off the bar, huge save there by Juicy. Early pressure coming through from Space Station, but see those couple of goals there, Stacks, they're silly mistakes. You don't want to be challenging in your corner too much at the best of times. Double committing in your own defensive corner, that is a no-no for Space Station Gaming, and it's a free goal for Eugene for the second, so can see some nerves coming through. We know it's their LAN debut. We expect them to improve every series, but so far, still scrappy on LAN.
Eugene looked so solid in contrast with his LAN debut. Juicy ranging back will just bring that safely to the corner. We did see, a little bit of anxiousness out of Gentlemates. That one sailing just a little bit high from SSG. We saw the double commits. They were very costly against NRG yesterday. But right now, firing on all cylinders. Granted, it is a very small sample size here in the first couple minutes. But more 2-minute stretches like this, and Gentlemates will be laughing their way to the bank.
Seeing a lot of yells as well, excitement on the alternate stream. Make sure you've got both up. Cracking games left, right, and center here. Day 2 in Raleigh. There's 3 minutes left. Still Gentlemates putting the foot down. There's a bump, almost a chance there. Space Station getting back. Gentlemates, notoriously a tricky team for international teams to play against Stacks. We know they're low 50 game. They love to lose it back to their teammate. And bring in Eugen, and that's the firepower that they need. They can do it. They need a top 2. The only team here in this event that hasn't locked in a world spot.
See what Kofer can do this time on the ball instead of headhunting. Gets knocked away. Scribbles forward. Reveal is there and just goes to the backboard. Can't do anything else with that ball. And yet again, Gentlemates, weather what was not much of a storm. Seiko challenged, beaten out by Kofer. You know, one of the unique things about Kofer, CJ, you know, we've seen players prioritize demos in the past, but maybe none with the mechanical prowess of a player like Kofer and the ability to create. Not only is he leading the world in demolitions at this point, but he's also leading his team in offense.
Yeah, he's usually it's the glue guy that's going for the demos, the bumps, with the greatest respect to some of our best demo players we've seen in Rocket League Esports, but they left this one wide open and Scribbles will find the first goal out of nowhere, just a transition play. That's rare from Gentlemates, and it was the Eugen double commit. He tried to fake for his teammate. Juicy wasn't there in time. Space Station get one back.
So there's the double commit out of Gentlemates rearing its ugly head with just over 100 seconds remaining in game 1. It kind of opens the door again for Space Station Gaming. And they slam it back shut. Oh, it looked like they were trying to pinch that downfield between Scribbles and Reveal. Kofer is left to try and play it forward and does so to the back wall. Juicy up high though so quickly, and this is where Gentlemate's strength lies. Just expect them to be a little bit faster than Space Station and try to ride that momentum towards victory. But they got a range back here. Juicy handed it away and Reveal had him read like a book.
Oh, I'm just not sure that's the right move, Juicy. 100 boost, and he goes for the Psycho. Instead of clearing it to the corner, you're up a goal. You don't need to hit that. Keep it simple on land. Huge mistake. They've let Space Station in, and they've tied it up.
When Psycho becomes oh no. Juicy trying to lead block for Eugen, doesn't work out. There's a demo at the back, because of course there is. Small wonder who it was. As now Seiko trying to dance through traffic. And Gentlemates have found themselves back in a game where they've kind of handed a pair of goals.
They should have won this. They should have absolutely locked in game 1, Gentlemates. Now they've got work to do. They've let the boys get confident. They've let the Space Station Army back into game 1. 40 seconds now. See if Reveal can work the ball forward. Scribbles right there. Kofer trying to get to work. We know he's got the demos, but on ball just as dangerous. There was the edgeable bump attempt. Didn't quite come through. See them getting active, but they have let the door open here. Stacks, reset, Seiko, one more on the ground. Space Station clear.
Final 20 seconds of regulation. Both teams well accustomed to extra time. Eugen keeps this game tied for the moment. Kofer trying to race Seiko. That ball goes central as well, so Juicy's gonna range across. Final countdown before we go to OT. Space Station swarming around the Gentlemates zone, but it's mates that finally clear the zone, and Scribbles will at least hang in the air for a moment, but we go to overtime in game 1.
OT shouldn't have been here. Huge mistake from Juicy. Has to make up for it. Oh, a Kofer called game. That's a huge touch. Could have been a goal, and the redirect is on, but Scribbles, as he always is, battening down the hatches, third man. He's given the ball up. Eugen right there. Kofer has to get back. Some of the pace has been injected into this overtime. 20 seconds in, Eugen with space. Juicy's going to wait. Reveal gets bumped off. Gentlemates pressing, looking to build this pressure. Space Station, all they can do is sit in net. Have to really hold down, lock down this defense.
Well, that loud roar you heard from the alternate stream area. A lot of emotion throughout all of our matches today. So much on the line with all these major hopefuls. Juicy rushing all the way back. And he'll try to bring this through. Indirect for himself. And the cut there by Reveal, and Kofer brings us right back to Gentlemates territory, and another ball handed away, and Reveal almost punished him for it.
It's shaky here for Gentlemates. This is big mistake, big mistake. Space Station shot on. Juicy able to save it and grab the 100. They're out here. He finds the 50. Reveal keeps this ball locked in Gentlemates half with the demo as well. There's the pass. Eugen's trying to cover it. It's blocked. All Seiko can do is take a 50 as Eugen finds back corner, but Gentlemates really low on boost and in big trouble. Eugen, huge save.
Well into the second minute now of overtime as Seiko has that one across to Juicy. Eugen waiting at the back as Juicy had nothing in the tank to run forward with. Space Station trying to dominate this 2 minutes the same way Gentlemates had dominated the first couple minutes of regulation time. Eugen to the heavens, looking for a winner and instead only finding Kofer. The physical play has not really been there in this overtime out of SSG. That has calmed down to an extent, and Gentlemates feeling a little bit more comfortable having 3 on the field at any given time. Reveal tried to drop one down and he just missed it wide. Kofer passes it back, but there's nobody there.
It's a big miss from Seiko. Should have been game. Reveal does not find his mark. Here's the fake for Eugen, though. Gentlemates get the job done. Took 2 minutes. Shouldn't have gone to overtime. And Space Station nearly pinched that one.
Space Station nearly stole victory from the jaws of defeat, but it's Eugen, chalked as ever. 2 goals out of 3 for Gentlemates, and a huge winner for Gentlemates Alpine as they continue their quest to try and salvage their season.
I was wondering why we're hearing so much noise, so much ruckus from the alternate stream that is right behind us, their setups here in Raleigh. And of course, it is Rise. It's Twisted Minds and Furia behind us that are absolutely going for it on and off the pitch right now. It's great to see the passion involved, but over here in our main event matchup, it was Gentlemates early, Space Station. They found a way back in. They found a window to equalize their stacks. They couldn't get the job done in overtime.
There have been, some awkward plays out of this Gentlemates squad between yesterday's round 2 match and today here in round 3, but all that matters in the end, you get the win. And that's one where they're going to look back at it and go, let's not think about that game too much. Let's enjoy the result. A little bit like bacon. You love it, you never want to see how it's made. So Gentlemates 1-0 in the series. They can put that game behind them. We go to the Forbidden Temple now for game 2. And this young Space Station squad, inexperienced as they are, kind of need to rely on each other and their coach to get them back in the right mindset. A team that has struggled here in their LAN debut. What do they have now in a crucial 3rd round match?
Furia 1-0 on the alternate stream. We got Gentlemates up a game here against Space Station, a classic. We love the EU-NA matchups. And we'll see a lot more of Eugen taking on the kids in the future. For right now, he does have the advantage over the youngsters. Scribbles off the backboard. Kofer, he's been dusted. A little bit awkward here, Space Station. To get back in the net, another mistake. They're grabbing boost, but we mentioned their nerves and scrappiness. It's really coming to fruition here. That was an open net for Eugen. He does not find his mark.
Reveal back the other way. Will they make him pay for it? It's right there on the goal line, and Eugen sweeps in just ahead of Kofer. So kind of left one on the table, but took one right back away from Space Station. Net 0 now as Juicy goes to work from the wing, trying to go through traffic. Very ambitious effort, and Kofer shut it down.
What Gentlemates do really well is stifle the aggression and speed coming out from Space Station. You could see Juicy there. When he has space, he's going to slow the ball down. Scribbles, can he get the dunk on this? Eugen, if he gets bumped, it's got to be open. He dodges the bump and makes the save. He's had a fantastic start to this series, but it is a jarring speed being played here by Gentlemates. You can see Space Station want to put pace on the ball. They want to speed it up. Gentlemates not letting that happen at all. Eugen low. Oh, they've been completely faked. The demo didn't matter. Gentlemates 1-0.
And when you look back behind the play, you see Kofer is almost in the Gentlemates net. Way downfield, it only leaves 2. And Gentlemates pick apart SSG. A minute 15 into game 2, they're back in front.
Eugen dropped the ball down and he threw out the smoke screen as well. They couldn't see the ball. First goal comes to Gentlemates. As we said, Eugen has been looking fantastic this series. He's going to land on this as well. Kofer ready, finds a bump, low boost. Scribbles also bumped. Both teams happy to go for the physical side of Rocket League. Seiko forces the ball forward, but already 90 seconds into this has been so much time in Space Station's defensive half.
Reveal ahead of 2, only 1 to beat. The redirect goes high, and Seiko will just collect this. Has not been involved much in the offensive end, but the midfield and defense, and there's a whip and an open net. Juicy will double the lead for Genomates, and Space Station now are in the charity act.
He was nowhere near that, Scribbles. There's whiffs and then there's misreads that large. That was a huge mistake last man. Didn't need to go for a fine touch, just had to control the ball, wedge it into the corner. And we saw Genomates let Space Station in this game. A couple of freebies for Genomates.
That's one where you're tempted to ask for a pause, just to be like, I didn't actually whip that right. It clearly had to be the game. Not so much. Popped up for a reveal. Trying to get through Juicy. No follow-up as Seiko just skies this away. That's all Seiko has had to do so far in this series. Just be solid. Don't be out of position. Kind of facilitate for his teammates, and he has done it brilliantly. Now he's in on the act and trying to jam one through. He'll get an assist. No, it's a save from Kofer. Reflex save on Juicy, keeping this game within reach.
That was a beautiful setup from Seiko. The save was even better. There's another back post pass, and Juicy's ready. No one there for Space Station. They had to throw themselves on the near side, but the pass was too good. Seiko, back-to-back set plays. And they find their mark, find the third goal, second time round.
Second, third, fourth time's the charm for Juicy. Now 3 goals in this series, including the assist with the overtime winner in game 1. Everything coming up for Genomates right now, as this European squad, the only team that's playing here that has not locked in a spot for Worlds. Juicy trying to leave it for Seiko. And Genomates right now, I mean, you know, they're not trying necessarily to get everything to the back wall. This just rolls up and will go harmlessly across. Just trying to keep the ball almost neutral and let a teammate come in and bail them out while somebody else rotates back just in case. This is perfect out of Genomates.
Yeah.
A sharp contrast from what we saw in game 1.
Just feels like their spacing's off here, Space Station. You can see that Reveal's pushing forward for demos. Kofa's looking for demos. Scribbles is too deep. And they're giving up midfield. They're giving up so much space for shots on. That pressure cannot afford to really release on the likes of a Eugen. He cannot give him space through the middle, but this ball is just living in Space Station's defensive half. There's a double whiff coming through. Juicy has to just try and wave dash his way out of a bump. Space Station really struggling to keep any pressure downfield, and instead they've got to concede 4. This is one-way traffic right here, Stacks.
They're just almost dribbling circles around Space Station Gaming, and SSG having their heads collectively spinning around, trying to keep up. 4-0 now for Genomates, and a big sigh of relief for the green suits watching at home. Their boys looking in good shape for now. There is still one more game to go here to seal the deal, but the way Genomates have looked, you know, the very early start of game 1 and now the entirety of game 2, this is the Genomates that went on a run last year in Copenhagen. This is the Genomates that got them to this spot here in Raleigh, and it could be the Genomates that punches a ticket to Lyon if that continues.
Yeah, not only the way Genomates have looked, but the way Space Station have looked as well. They need a timeout. There are no timeouts until the playoffs, but Scribbles, that last goal was another huge mistake. They are just not on mechanically. They're feeling the pressure. Genomates clamping down. They want 5 with 30 seconds left. And we are giving credit to Eugen and the boys, but this is not the Space Station lineup that we even saw yesterday, and that wasn't them in their online form. So they need to find something. They need to take the extra 30 seconds here to reset and try and get a foothold in this series. It's one-way traffic. It is all Genomates right now.
This is a Space Station team that wants game 2 to be over with, and mercifully so it will be in the next few seconds. Cleared away by Reveal, and Genomates Alpine have triple match point to try and sweep away the young Americans.
Game 1 was close. Game 2, they absolutely smacked them. The young fellas from North America have to reset. As we said, take an extra 30 seconds since that game was over pretty much a minute out. Talk things through. Just try and reset the mental here. So they have lost their way a touch. I mentioned Scribbles, he's always going to be padding, well, not padding the stats, but as he is third man, the saves will add to his score per game, as you can see right there, 466, but some huge defensive mistakes coming through, not only from him, but the rest of the crew on Space Station. This isn't their best performance so far. They've still got time though.
Sometimes you see a team that plays very physically and they do kind of neglect the net on the defensive end, especially when they go chasing demos. And maybe Gentlemates have kind of figured that out with Space Station. Those are opportunities that are plenty available. But I mean, you've touched on it the entire series so far. Even game one, when SSG was coming back, double commits have been just fatal for both of these teams. Much less so for Gentlemates in that second game. And you don't expect that on LAN. I mean, sometimes when you're playing online and you're not in the same place, okay, maybe. But on LAN, the preparation is next level. You're all right there side by side. You've got your coach behind you. That stuff can't happen at this level. It has for SSG in game 2. Can they secure it now in game 3? They're going to solve the puzzle with now less than 5 minutes to work with.
There's a lot of talk about Space Station's online form. The desk pretty much predicting based on that form. We haven't seen it yet, but we might see it here. Beautiful bump. And the first goal for Scribbles will be as easy as he likes.
Double digits now for Scribbles on the weekend. His 10th goal. 11 seconds in, a rare lead for Space Station. They have not led in this series. What can they do with it now, though? We've seen Gentlemates be very creative with their kickoffs, and they are so again, working downfield. Brilliantly done, but Scribbles is there for the save.
Still keep pressure on. That's a beautiful kickoff strat. Look at this. They've been able to grab mid and corner boost off Space Station. You can see Scribbles right now with 0. Throws it across, so it could be a nice chance to reveal when. The confidence is up here for Space Station. Sometimes when it's not working, the structure, the gameplay stacks, you just got to go. Feels like they've really released the brakes on this lineup right here. Xpear's got them cooking. Here is Seiko. We're going to push the ball forward. Can Gentlemates tie it up, or can Space Station build some momentum?
Well, Scribbles across, but Seiko's there. He was ranging back towards that midfield boost. Had to leave it behind to try and play the ball forward. Now Scribbles again, indirect from the ceiling. Everybody misses here. And Seiko will just calmly bring that ball to the corner. 50 goes way downfield, opposite corner, and Scribbles has Juicy to contend with.
Very lucky. It should be 2-0 Space Station if Scribbles read the miss. Didn't on that occasion. See Seiko finds a beautiful 50 to Juicy. Look at the catch, look at the touch, and look at the space he's got. He's trying to drag it over the top of Kofa. Scribbles flies with 0. Eugen will be able to steal corner boost. Space Station in trouble if they actually found a way out with the only man with 100 in the tank. Gentlemates still not looking too phased unless the demo comes through. That's the online SSG 2-0.
Take what the defense gives you, and in this case, nobody home. Reveal takes out Seiko to make sure he can't get back. And just like that, it's Space Station trying to flip the script here in game 3.
Yeah, I think that even the demo shouldn't have been a goal. It was just that Eugen took too high of a line in that back corner as well. But Space Station making the most of it. Mentioned the mini timeout they were able to take since game 2 was over quite early. They've really reset and locked back in. Great to see the aggression. Great to see Scribbles pushing forward as well. He's not just stuck in net. Having said that, Gentlemates with 3 minutes, still plenty of time for them to find 2.
Kofer with a missile that dings off the crossbar. Reveal leaves that for Eugen. Kofer to center, but nobody else was there. Reveal was on his way back. Pinch downfield goes off of Scribbles and off to the corner. Opposite now, Juicy chasing Scribbles around. Reveal, or rather Kofer, waiting in the center. Scribbles almost did it all himself. And Space Station playing with a lot more confidence with their backs against the wall in round 3.
Kofi just had to be more patient there. Would have been a beautiful set play by Scribbles, but they don't find the goal. Still 2-0 lead, half the game remains. Seiko takes it upstairs. 50'd off the roof. Eugen just trying to wedge the ball to grab mid boost. Does both, dodges the bump. This is huge if the 50 comes through, but doesn't quite land where he wanted it. Juicy wanted the follow-up. Seiko with space, drags over 1. Juicy up for 2. He finds the pitch. It's open. Eugen 2-1.
Eugen always where he needs to be, but how about this setup from Seiko? He has been phenomenal, and Juicy contributing in the play as well. You got to cover so many angles, and they just ran out of options.
Dare I say, the old boy, the world champ Seiko has been fantastic, as you mentioned, this series. Needs one more, 2 minutes. Huge speed there by Scribbles. He's got to find Reveal. Couldn't be momentarily open. Seiko has to go, and he's found the touch. He is on song right now.
Seiko ahead to Eugen. Trying to farm more assists. This time Kofer can just pop one up. got run into.
Oh, look at this.
Look at the passing. Tic-tac-toe, and then a ding off the crossbar again. Did just sail it a little too high. SSG had it covered. Now Kofer against Seiko, and now he'll jump. But here comes Juicy. One demo behind the play. It's the demo demon Kofer himself. Now it's Seiko at Reveal. Reveal the initial save, and Juicy will just contain this in the corner. More possession for Gentlemates as they try to wear down Space Station. That is incredibly awkward, and Kofer managed to bail himself out.
He turned a whiff into a pancake. That was very awkward. Space Station. This is where we saw the panic yesterday. Game 5 against Foot. 1 minute to hold on to grab their first game win of this series. Seiko, this is the best I've seen him in a long time. He's an absolute lamb boy. He's cooking right now. Needs to find one more. Juicy with the pinch somehow. 0 boost. 50 seconds in the right end for Space Station. Have to keep it locked in though.
Reveal, quick turn. Kofer thought about coming up. Got called off very late, and that's got the entire SSG defense out of whack, in the double tap does not find the mark. Kofer there to collect right on the goal line. And who will take charge now? It's Reveal. One of the things you worry about with an inexperienced squad, will there be a little bit of my turn offense on the side of SSG? Will they get a little too antsy and give up a cheap one? Eugen running forward with Seiko. He's got Juicy on the weak side. Didn't have a lot of boost to work with. He got beat, and Scribbles denied by Seiko.
12 seconds, that's a massive mistake. It's game. Space Station can take one. Huge for the confidence. Keeping this series alive. Gentlemates had to push for the goal, but Seiko took a bad 50. Eugen rushed himself last man. 9 seconds left. That's not enough time. Space Station will grab their first.
You say that, but we've seen Gentlemates go into the bag of tricks off the kickoff. Juicy's got to make a quick turn on it. Got to score right about now, and they will not. That save will certainly cut everything off. And yes, we will see Utopia Coliseum as Space Station Gaming prolongs their life in round 3.
Over on the alternate stream as well, we have Furia 2-1 currently in game 4. Just kicked underway. Make sure you've got both streams up. A lovely talent crew over there. Absolutely getting to work. But right here, Space Station, the North American Army, giving a little bit of hope, a little bit of life into this series after game 2. Which just was completely one-way traffic. You can see the stats, the scoreboard there. Scribbles is online. We saw his defensive plays, his mistakes. He said, stuff the defense, Dax. I'm going upfield. He's got a hat trick in this game. And the first win on the board for Space Station.
Yeah, he's got all but 1 goal for SSG in this series. 4 out of their 5. Reveal has the other. Kofer yet to score despite being tied with Scribbles for the lead in scoring for SSG coming into this series. He's made his presence felt physically a little less often in that game. He really had to bail out Space Station with some incredible defensive effort. This Space Station Gaming looking a lot better than they had at any point in this series. It didn't look like other than the goal right at the end, they didn't have anything gifted to them as they did in the first game where they had scored 2 to erase that 2-goal deficit. So now let's see if Space Station can continue that momentum, bring us to Champions Field, or will Utopia be where this series goes to die?
There's just so much energy behind us in that Furia Twisted Mind series. And right now, a lot of nervousness amongst these boys right here. You can see Kofa. Welcome to LAN. Welcome to LAN pressure. He got a little bit of a taste of that yesterday. The record fantastic against Ultimates. Plays them on LAN. They lose 3-1. They go to 5 against Foot. Now they play some major champions, a world champion. They've got their first game win on the board. They've denied the sweep. Can Eugen close this out in 4, or do we go to champ field, Stacks?
Well, while Gentlemates go through the troubleshooting process of turn it off and back on, we will await a very tense game number 4. And of course, so important for both of these squads, just for Space Station. I mean, any team that's in the 1-1 bracket through 2 rounds, you know, everything is edge of your seat stuff. I mean, anything can be amplified. Any mistake could be the overbearing reason why you're now got 1 foot out of the tournament, or one big play could give you 2 shots at advancing to the playoffs. So you think the nerves are ever present here in this setting. Just wait until there are thousands and thousands of esports greatest fans going absolutely nuts. Yes, it is on kind of home soil for an American squad in SSG, but it's still absolutely nerve-wracking.
Yeah, this is an absolute turning point for both these teams in the tournament as well. You win this, you move into the 2-1 stage, you lose, and you're right back with the pack. Gentlemates, to find one, Space Station need to reverse sweep their EU opponents. And that'd be huge if they can do this for their confidence, as you mentioned, going into this tournament. If they can make it through to the playoffs, make it in front of the crowd, do them a world of good right here, right now. It looks like we are just about ready to get back underway. And we mentioned a little timeout after game 2 for Space Station, given that game was over. This is definitely a longer timeout for both teams, just to chat some things through and make sure Juicy's cables are all good.
Both these teams accustomed to their series taking a little bit longer than anybody else. They played a combined 7 overtimes in the second round alone yesterday. SSG going the distance with Foot, needing 4 out of the 5 games going to extra time. Gentlemates going 1 and 2, I believe, in the overtimes with NRG in their 3 games. They had an overtime here in this series as well. Game 1, a very bizarre game 1 when you look at the context of the rest of this series, because game 2 was nothing like that. Game 3 was nothing like that. It really felt like both teams were, I hate to say nervous, because nerves are kind of like a cop-out when you're not really sure what the mental state is of these guys, and these are all professionals, experienced or not. But it just felt like they weren't quite sure what to expect from the opposition, and maybe more nervous, throwing jabs at each other, trying to get a sense of their play style.
Looks like we're heading to game 5 on the alternate stream. Twisted Minds, 20 seconds left, have just locked that one out. Their 3rd goal on the board. That's going to Champ Field. Can we head to the same map in this one? Can Space Station keep the form up? Can Scribbles keep elevating his play? He started shaky. We saw the mistakes early, Stacks. But he's improved and put in a fantastic showing there in game 3. We need to see similar from him in the 4th edition of this series. But, gentlemates, when Seiko's in form like this, there's a reason why Space Station is struggling, because he is absolutely locked in and in form.
You know, it's a serious issue over on the Gentlemate side when Mateo gets involved. So we may be in for the long haul here as we wait to sort out this on the Gentlemate side. But this is, you know, one of the things that you deal with as a professional player. It's something you've experienced, I'm sure, plenty of times. CJ, how do you stay focused on the match when you have this long of a downtime mid-series?
Yeah, well, usually my technical issue, Stacks, was myself blaming a controller or a cable for my lack of ability.
I was gonna say, falsely or
some people blame, their setup. Some people blame just their car in game. Shout out Sathu for that one. But sometimes you actually have some genuine technical issues, as we do in this situation, just to get fixed. But we're still.
प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद के दामाद हजरत अली वो खलीफा बने।
his role in the last game and a half. That one dropped down just off the crossbar, and Kofer swoops in to send it away. If Gentlemates could get a half point for hitting the crossbar, they'd have already won this series.
Yeah, I thought it was open, but Reveal was waiting in net. Had to beat the last man, threw it off the backboard. No follow-up. Both sides with decent chances early. That's a nice pass. Eugene has to wait. He's actually been caught out a touch. You see Kofer was looking for the demo. Had to keep pushing forward. There's the touch. There's the first goal. It's Space Station again.
Kofer getting involved with the setup to give Reveal his second goal of the series. Just blows right by Seiko, and Eugene couldn't catch up to help him out. And Space Station, as they did in Game 3, strike first.
And this is just why Kofer is so crucial. We mentioned his demos as it's a double fake. Both sides with the exact same kickoff strat.
You know what I'm waiting for, CJ? I'm waiting for somebody to just not even bother jumping into the ball on kickoff, just drive right into it and call out the fake. I'm sure it's a horrible strategy, but at some point, it's gonna work.
Yeah, at this stage, the worst strategies are the best ones. Even shots on net, sometimes shooting bottom middle is the best. Everyone's expecting top corner. Seiko's looking for the 50. As I mentioned before, Kofer just crucially gave the Reveal an absolute gimme for the first goal. When he's looking for demos, he's also a target downfield for the pass play. Here he is again. Another reset, this time saved by Seiko. Can see a lot of noise behind us again. Twisted Minds have scored. They've taken the lead. There's not long left in this game, in that game in the alternate stream. They might be able to lock out Furia in 5. That'd be a huge upset for the MENA 2 seed.
We're not used to talking about MENA's or South America's or Oceania's 2 seeds making noise like that. It's just a different era now for the Middle East North Africa region, as things continue to intensify over in the alternate stream. We continue on with SSG leading with now less than 3 minutes left, trying to prolong this one towards Champions Field. Another ball popped up. Kofer's got that easily from the heavens all the way across.
Huge result. On the other side of things, Twisted Minds have completely upset Furia. Top 4 to nothing, and there's an equalizer over here. Gentlemates, Juicy finds a gap. Space Station fall apart defensively.
Wonder how many of Gentlemate's goals have been preceded by demos on the part of SSG. It feels like the demos have not factored in at all. Plenty as they have been. Has not deterred Gentlemates at all. Here goes Juicy, one-on-one with Kofer. Got nudged away, but the follow-up goes bottom right and saved away.
Brilliant shot, even better save. Juicy has to back off. Eugene's been dusted. Juicy needs boost. This midfield game that Gentlemates were dominating early looks to be back. Space Station need to find the aggression. I want to see Scribbles push downfield. His default here, Stacks, is to sit in net, is to be passive third man. He's an absolute weapon down the other end. I want to see that confidence coming out from him under pressure.
Seiko, crisscross with Eugene. That's just going to be given away and just take a free shot at the net. Try to get Gentlemates to make a mistake in the defensive end. Eugene lining up a double, swept away by Scribbles. Now Juicy will try his luck. Got the demo there, high in the corner, taking out Kofer. That had to feel therapeutic, as Reveal's going to race over and try to meet Juicy. He's done so, and Reveal still downfield. We've seen that plenty out of SSG too, having a man way downfield to try and take advantage of an open net. Not this time.
So smart by Seiko. He left the boost for Juicy. Means they can keep on the attack. 50 comes through by Scribbles. Eugene off the sidewall. Seiko looking for the redirect. He's missed. They've sent 2 to this. Juicy just needs to be careful. You can see Seiko just questioning whether he had it. Did double commit in the end. The 50 comes through. We are seeing just little pockets of space for Gentlemates. That's a big mistake by Eugene though, and that's kind of the advantage of being good at the game, Stacks. No one realizes you're going to make that mistake.
Yeah, I feel bad for Juicy. Feels like the last time he was able to pick up a big boost pad, he was on moist. All the way around the corner now. Space Station trying to wear down Gentlemates. Seiko with a big pinch to relieve the pressure, and just narrowly missing the mark. Eugene was chasing. Juicy does have a full tank now to set up Seiko. His shot sneaks through with only 35 to go.
Oh, I didn't think he was going to have a shot, but they whiffed in the middle here. Kofer with 100 got too close, tried to be too quick. And Seiko knew it, took his time, fires bottom left. Gentlemates with the lead. 35 seconds from moving into that 2-1 stage. This is huge.
Straight on kickoff now. Nobody getting fancy on that effort. Eugen with 30 seconds. All he's going to do is kill it. But it's going to be a very long 30 seconds defensively for Gentlemates. Space Station having Scribbles chase all the way across. Can they rely on each other well enough? Flip reset to set it up. Nothing brewing there. Reveal now with 10 seconds. Trying to bully his way through Eugen. Got this cleared, and Kofer's got to chase it down and work the length of the field. Did win the corner boost. He'll have some in the tank to work downfield, but Space Station have their hands full. It's Reveal. Trying to get the flip reset, it's spiked down, and Gentlemates take out SSG in 4.
The only team yet to lock in Worlds has just won a crucial series. Move on to 2-1. Space Station put up a fight. Tried to launch the comeback after a slow start. But Gentlemates, too good. Off the tech pause. Seiko, fantastic series. Eugen locked in, but I know he doesn't say it on the stats. Stacks, Seiko, for me, was the MVP.
No, I would have no argument there at all. Again, you know, the stats, you mentioned it. They don't look impressive if you don't watch the series and you just look at the numbers and go, okay, 1 goal, 2 assists, so what? Well, he probably could have had about a half dozen more assists with the opportunities that he set up, and his midfield control was phenomenal. Like Seiko, when you talk about players being out of position,